Hello students, this is Sujatag coming with class 10 NCRT SSC Math with Sujata ji. Let us study the chapter 2 Pythagoras theorem from the 10th SSC Maths 2. Let us study this chapter student. So before studying this chapter, let us introduce the topics, how many topics in this chapter included. So here there are the 6 topics. First topic is Pythagorean triplet. Second one is the theorem of geometric mean. Third one is the similarity and right angle triangles. Fourth one Pythagoras theorem. Fifth one application of Pythagoras theorem. And sixth one the Apollonius theorem, students. So let us see one by one these topics. So now here first is the introduction about the Pythagoras theorem, students. This Pythagoras theorem is applicable only in the right angle triangle. If there is a right angle triangle, then you can apply the Pythagoras theorem, otherwise not. So what is the Pythagoras theorem, students? So in a right angle triangle, the square of hypotenuse is equal to the squares of remaining two sides. Okay, so let us see that this is the triangle PQR. PQR is a right angle triangle where major angle Q is 90 degree. Here hypotenuse is PR and the right angle sides are QR and QP. So here length PR square is equal to length PQ square plus length QR square. In other way, we can say that PR square is equal to PQ square plus QR square, student. So it is applicable for the right angle triangle, students. Okay. Now the next one, that is if you consider PQ as PQ, this side PQ as the, here students, if you consider PQ as the side R, okay, if you consider PQ as R, this one is a PQ side, okay students, this one is the PQ side, and consider as R because the opposite angle of this side is capital letter R. So here we consider this side as a R, and here PR. We consider that PR as a small letter Q. Why do we consider that the small letter Q? Because the opposite angle is capital letter Q. So we consider the side PR as a small letter Q. And here the length of QR, consider that is the small letter P, because the opposite angle of the side QR is capital letter P. So that's why we consider the length of QR as a small letter P. Okay. So in other way, we can write the Pythagoras theorem as this way, that is Q square is equal to P square plus R square. Okay. This way we can also. Let us introduce the first topic, students, Pythagorean triplet. So what is the Pythagorean triplet, students? So in a triplet of natural numbers, if the square of the largest number is equal to the sum of the square of the remaining two numbers, then the triplet is called the Pythagorean triplet. Okay, here students. So here that there are the natural number, and that natural number is in the form of 3, that is called as a triplet. And here in the triplet, if the largest number, there is a largest number, you square of this largest number, and then square of all these numbers, that the smallest one, smaller one, and the square of the largest number is equal to the sum of the square of the remaining of the two numbers, then we can say that numbers are the Pythagorean triplet. So let us study this by the giving the example. Okay, so here verify that are Pythagorean triplets, that the given triplet is Pythagorean triplet or not. So here say the first triplet is 3, 4, 5. Okay, so what is the method to find out it is Pythagorean triplet or not? So use square of these number that included in the triplet. Okay, so square of 3, that is 9. Square of 4, 16. Square of 5, that is the 25. And here the largest number is 25. So here we sum the square of the smallest number, two smallest number. Here the two smallest number are 9 and 16. So 9 plus 16 is equal to 25, and which is equal to the square of the largest number. So here students, we can say the square of the largest number is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two numbers. Okay students, and therefore 3, 4, 5 is a Pythagorean triplet. Okay, see the next one example. Second triplet is 5, 12, 13. So here square out the three numbers. So square of 5, that is 25. Square of 12, 145. Square of 13, 165. 169. Okay, so now here the smallest number are 25 and 145. 144. So sum of them. So 25 plus 144, that is equal to 169 student. So 169 is the largest square of the largest one number. So here we can say the square of the largest number is equal to the sum of the square of the other two numbers, and therefore 5, 12, 13 is a Pythagorean triplet student. So see the next one example. 8, 15, 17. Okay, these are the given triplet. So let us square of each number. Square of 8, 64. Square of 15, 225. Square of 17, 289. So the smallest number, identify the smallest number, 64 and 225. So sum of them 64 plus 225, which is equal to 289, and which is also equal to the square of the largest number. And so that means we say that the square of the largest number is equal to the sum of the square of the other two numbers 8, and therefore 8, 15, 17 is a Pythagorean triplet students. Okay, see the next one example. See here the triplet is 24, 25, 7. So in this triplet, square these three numbers. Square of 24, 576. Square of 25, 625. Square of 7, that is a 49. So here the smallest one numbers are 576 and the 49. So sum of them. So 576 plus 49, which is equal to 625. So which is equal to the square of the largest number, and so we can say the square of the largest number is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two numbers, and therefore 24, 25, 7 is a Pythagorean triplet. There is another example also students, that is 11, 60, 61. So in this triplet, the numbers are 11, 60, 61. So the square of 11, 121. Square of 60, that is 3600. Square of 61, that is 3721. So the smallest one numbers are 121 and 3600. So sum of them, so 121 plus 3600 is equal to 3721. So here we can say that the square of largest number is equal to the sum of the square of the remaining two numbers, and that means 11, 60, 61 is a Pythagorean triplet, student. If we draw the right angle triangle, then there are the two possibilities that you can draw the 30, 60, 90 degree angle of triangle, and then somebody draw the 45, 45, 90 degree angle of triangle. Okay, so now here if you draw 30, 60, 90 degree triangle, and then there is a property of that sides or related with that angles, and as you draw the 45, 45, 90 degree angle of triangle, then there is also the property. So let us study the property of 30 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree triangle, and which is called as a right angle triangle, students. So here, if acute angles of a right angle triangle are 30 degree, 60 degree, then the side opposite to 30 degree angle is half of the hypotenuse. Okay, students, what is the property? The property says that the angle, the side opposite to 30 degree, the side opposite to 30 degree. See here, the side opposite to 30 degree, that means MN, which is equal to the half of its hypotenuse. That means in triangle element, that angle L is 30 degree, angle N is 60 degree, angle M is 90 degree, then side opposite to 30 degree angle, which is equal to Mn, then Mn is equal to half of hypotenuse. And what is the hypotenuse? Hypotenuse is the Ln. So half into Ln. Okay, so this one is the first property about the 30 degree angle. And what about the property of the 60 degree angle? The side opposite to 60 degree angle is root 3 by 2 times the hypotenuse. Okay, so side opposite to 60 degrees, this is the 60 degree angle, and opposite side is ln. So side opposite to 60 degree angle, which is equal to ln, and that is equal to root 3 upon 2 into hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is ln. So root 3 upon 2 multiplied ln, student. So this is a property of 30, 60, 90 degree angle, and this is very useful for your board examination. Okay, students. So now here see the next one, that is the second property. That second property is that property of 45, 45, 90 degree. Okay, if the acute angle of a right angle triangle are 45 and 45 degree, then each of the perpendicular side is 1 upon root 2 times the hypotenuse. Okay, so now here students, see there is a triangle. There is a triangle X, Y, Z. Okay, and in this triangle X, Y, Z, angle Y is equal to 45 degree, angle Z is equal to 45 degree, and angle X is equal to 90 degree. So here this is the triangle of the 45, 45, 90 degree angle. Okay, students, and there is a property of this triangle also. Okay, 45, 45 degree, 45, 45, 90 degree triangle. Okay, so now if the acute angle of a right angle triangle are 45, 45 degree, then each of the perpendicular side, each of the perpendicular side means the perpendicular sides are zx and yx. Okay, that is equal to the 1 upon root 2 times the hypotenuse. That means xy is equal to 1 upon root 2 zy, and xz is equal to 1 upon root 2 multiplied zy. Okay, because here the angles are 45 degree, so their opposite sides are congruent. So zx is equal to yx, and that means we can say that zx is equal to xy, which is equal to 1 upon root 2 into zy. Okay, students, here, see here. Okay, this way. Xy is equal to xz, which is equal to 1 upon root 2 zy, students. Okay, so these are the property for the right angle triangle. If the right angle draw 30, 60 degree, 90 degree angle of triangle, and the next one, that is 45, 45, 90 degree angle of triangle. Okay, so let us see. On the basis of these property, there is a one example, and that one example is, student, see here. For example, if ln is equal to 6 centimeter, find mn and ln. Okay, so this is the figure of triangle LMN. Okay, this is the figure of triangle LMN here, students. And in this triangle, angle M is equal to 90 degree, angle N is equal to 90 degree, angle N is equal to 60 degree, and students, angle L is equal to 30 degree. So this is a triangle LMN of the students 30, 60, 90 degree angle of triangle. So now, what is the property of these, that the side opposite to 30 degree is half of its hypotenuse. We know the property, that is the side opposite to 30 degree is half of its hypotenuse. So the side opposite to 30 degree is mn. So mn is equal to 1 half into ln. So mn is equal to 1 half multiply 6, because ln is 6. So half of 6, that means the 3 centimeter. And here the opposite side of 60 degree is root 3 by 2 times of hypotenuse. So here ln is the opposite side of angle 60 degree. So ln is equal to root 3 upon 2 multiplied ln. So root 3 upon 2 multiplied 6, that means root 3 centimeter. Okay, so this is the example on the base of 30 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree angle of triangle of the property. Okay, now here see the 45 degree, the example for the 45, 90 degree angle of triangle. Suppose here if 3 root 2 centimeter, then find xy and xz. Okay, student. So here we can draw the right angle triangle, but here as the 45, 90 degree angle of triangle. Okay, so here we have to find out the x, y and xz, the sides of xy and xz, and the given side is 3 root 2 centimeter. 3 root 2 centimeter, that means the yz is equal to 3 root 2 centimeter. Okay, then we can find out the xy and xz. We know that these two angles are same, that means their opposite sides are congruent. So xy is equal to xz. So xy is equal to xz is equal to 1 upon root 2 multiplied 3 root 2. So root 2 get cancelled out, and our answer is xy is equal to xz is equal to 3 centimeter. Students, thank you for watching our videos. Achieve your success. with us, I sure that you will get 100% success in maths. So watch our videos continuously, regularly, like our videos, share our videos to your friends.